the old fuel filter off, and I know you really can't see it, but the stuff that's coming out is just rust. There we go. Check that out. Oh god. Looks like I'm squirting Heinz fucking ketchup all over the place. That is gross. So, yeah, now we're just gonna, since I'm too lazy to do any more work, I throw the new filter on. They usually say 2 carb on that side, so you know which way to fucking do it. And we're gonna do it that way. So, see if I can position my camera where you guys can see. I'm not sure that I can. That's about as good as you're gonna get, guys. I really can't do much better, not unless it sits down there and decides not to fall everywhere. Nope, still can't see. Can you sit right there? Because I'll be working right there. Better than nothing. So you take your filter, you shove the line on it at the bottom, you take the upper line, you shove it onto the top. Bam, just like that, Emerald Lagasse. Slide your clamp up, and you forget your screwdriver that you literally just had 10 seconds ago, and you tighten your top clamp down. I'm sure someone's like, okay, where's the top? Or we're tightening the bottom clamp down. I'm sure someone out there's like, okay, where's your top clamp? Well, guess what? I lost it, okay? It's gone.
Top clamp went.
Yeah, I'll get another one later. Fucking, I just stabbed myself. So once you stab yourself, sometimes they'll fit back in the factory little cool binky bracket thingy. Sometimes they won't. Looks like I don't have enough fuel line for it to sit in there safely. So we're gonna probably zip tie it to this other line right here so that we know it's not going too far. So, yeah. And I will go and try to find a top clamp, okay? Chill out. In fact, I think I found one. Alright. Got it back off. What's pissing? Quit pissing. Alright, here's a fucking clamp. Laying right beside me. It's one of the old squishy ones that I don't like. Alright. This is what happens when I film. I have to do things kind of right. There. It's got a clamp on it. You happy? Yeah, sure. Alright. Now that that's all squared away. Don't know if you saw all of that or not, but there's our new one. All dry as a bone. Now we'll be able to see what type of deposits are coming through this fuel line and into the carburetor through the pump and everything, so we'll know if we need to flush the tank out again. Keep in mind we flushed it once and got all the rust out, but that doesn't mean that there's not more in there. That just means we got the majority. So as time goes by and the car is driven, it could always knock more through there. So in fact, I'm probably gonna go back to the parts store and pick up an extra fuel filter to carry around in the car. You know, back in the day, that wasn't a big deal on an old junky car. You carried fuel filters, tools, stuff like that. In new cars, you know, people just drive and forget about things. So I'll probably go pick up some more fuel filters just to be safe, especially with the tank being in the shape it's in. Next, we're going to try and change these really old, grimy spark plugs. See if that doesn't help it at all. All right, let's get these out. All right. So I ain't put the plugs in it yet because I decided I'm gonna wait till I get the wires to put it on there. Because if I put good plugs in a motor with bad wires, then it's still just gonna foul them out. Dumping all that gas in there, not burning it. So we figured, as David calls it, the motherfucking rust bucket that keeps dumping shit in his eye. We couldn't get the coat hangers to work quite as well as we wanted to. If the low light will pick up, there we go. There. So we decided to use hose clamps to put them pieces of junk back together.
Literally.
Oh yeah. On a muffler that's completely rusted out. guts were falling out of it when I turned it upside down. So when we fire it up, it's probably gonna blow a bunch of shit out. And then double hose clamps on the muffler with a coat hanger and a coat hanger and a hose clamp. So this is about as retarded as it gets. However, this is temporary, like I said. So hate all you want. It's just gotta last us just a little while. And if it holds up, I mean the car, not the exhaust. If it holds up and everything works right, then we'll go back and put some proper pipes on it and weld them up real good. But this is what we got and this is what we did. So we're just gonna see how this turns out for us. Pretty much, as long as it's quieter inside the car, that's our main concern. So David's finishing up the other hose clamp now, but I can take the jack stands
I'll take this one.
that we've been using to hold the mufflers up. I can take the one out anyway, because now the pipe is sustaining itself. If David can just get that back there to go back together. Any minute now, I'm sure he'll have it. All right, we'll pick back up with you in a minute, guys. So, the piping's back on, clamps are on. David, you got the key?
I'm gonna do the fire up.
All right. Pump it a few times. They probably ain't gonna fire right off the bat because the fuel filter that I took off put back on.
So pump it a few times?
Yeah. Go ahead. Make sure it's out of gear.
I think it says so.
Yeah. That's some terrible looking gas. Do it again. Oh, this is so much quieter. I think we can deal with that, guys. Do it again. It's blowing all kinds of junk out of that muffler. All right. Check out this fuel filter real quick. Oh. Doesn't look so bad. Never mind. It was nasty when it first started pumping. All right, well, we're good. All right, so let's pack up our stuff and take it on a test drive. So guys, we've been driving it for a little bit now. David's piloting. He's happy as hell. Used to shift gears again. Dash doesn't put in it. And we decided we'd take this car back to the place that it all began. That and to show Daddy, because he hasn't seen it yet.
They want us to scrap it, so.
Yeah, park it behind the Suzuki.
Suzuki?
Over here, over here, over here. Don't rev it up too much. Don't rev it up or nothing, just cut it off. Eh? Alrighty guys, so we just left the junkyard. Sorry, the exit to the junkyard video is kind of weird. They were doing stuff and I didn't want to keep the camera on. But there you go, we got just some floor mats and good stuff like that. Car is still a little crusty. And we talked about this one time before. We live on a lake. Like, I am, literally my house is through the woods to the water. So we decided that we'd come down here to one of the public landings, and it's really pretty out here today. And we'd end the video vlog here for this series of the Datsun B210 build. Not necessarily build, but more like a resto mod kind of deal. We're going to continue to bring this car up to modern speed so that it can be back on the road and safely maneuvering. Does not look like we're leaking any more fluids. It's holding up very well. We have the exhaust on it. You can hear yourself think in it now. And yeah, so we also snagged us, you can't see them there in the back, but we grabbed a little instrument cluster, including a fuel gauge and a temperature gauge. So if I can get a new sending unit, we can wire that stuff in. The sending unit is one for the tank. And next, we'll probably take these bezels off and hit them with a new coat of black. They're a little faded out. I might try to get the bumper off and see if I can knock this ding out a little bit more. Then we got to find us an old school tag to put on the front. So if you have any ideas what was going on in the late 70s, early 80s as far as like car memorabilia and stuff, let us know what type of tag that we should put on the front at the bottom. I mean, it doesn't have to necessarily be late 80s or late 70s, early 80s, but I do want something, you know, kind of going with the flow of the car. We're going to put a couple other old school car decals and stuff on it and probably touch with the paint a little bit the best we can. We're probably going to respray it eventually back to this beautiful, beautiful color blue. And it's like a Smurf blue. And we'll, I don't know if that's some type of like fiberglass or what, but plastic. It's just cracked weird. But we'll repaint all that black, and I'll grind out some of this rust. And I hate to do it, but I'll Bondo it up. Also, we need a tail light. This one is cracked. So if I can find another set of lights, maybe at a salvage yard, which is going to be hard to find. There's one local to us. It's called Vickers Classics. They do a lot of specialty old car stuff. And I know for a fact they've got a couple of these in here. One of the ones that they have in there features the circle headlight instead of the square. I don't know what you would call them, but they're the big, huge circle headlights with the bumper that's a little different. And it is beautiful. And I might see what they want for the front end. I know the only problem is you also have to get the fenders because the corner won't line up with these fenders. So we might leave this alone for now. That might be too big of a piece of meat to bite off right now. But so this is it. It's running and driving. And like I said, we're down here at the local park area. This used to not be such a super great area, but they've done a lot to it within the past year. As you can see, they put sand down, nice walking paths. They've even cut back some of these trees. I don't know if David's remembering this. I'm just now noticing that how many of the trees they've cut back, actually. It didn't used to look like this. In fact, there's like a beach area down there. So yeah, we're gonna chill out. I got some drinks in the car. Gonna just sit back in the shade for a minute and take a break. Relax. And thanks so much for watching, guys. We hope you enjoyed this Datsun series that we're going to continue. Drifting is no longer any option that is going to be put forth into this car. No more motor swaps at the moment. We're pretty much going to resto mod it. And I'm sorry to say that. I know some guys were looking forward to building this into a drift car. Problem is, we have the BMW E30 now, which is way more capable as far as power, and really we don't even need to do an engine swap in it right now. That one's runs good enough and it's got just enough power to get it sideways. So this needs to be saved properly. I haven't seen another B210 at all in our local area. This is the first one. And I certainly have not seen a four-door B210 in this color. I know the hatches were much popular. So to find a sedan that really isn't in that bad a shape, the body's almost perfectly straight. There's a ding right there. I know you're looking at the body, Sam, but that paint, and I'm like, yes, but you've got to overlook the paint. It's the sheet metal below that makes the car. And this is just as straight as it gets. It's got the typical rust and the filler pieces and in the bottom of the rockers, but the doors aren't gone through. This one's got the worst amount of it right there. Rocker panel solid as can be, bottom of the door solid as can be, other than this one corner right here. So we're gonna save this. This needs to get saved, even if it's like a resto mod, so we can daily it some. But thanks so much for watching, guys. Stay awesome. Hit that subscribe button at the bottom to keep up with the Datsun. If you want to follow our progress little by little, you can look us up on Instagram. We are on there at MXGuy95, just like our YouTube channel name says.
Samuel Kimbrell.
Samuel Kimbrell. We'll have to write that out. Some people won't be able to spell that probably all the way because it's spelled funny. But anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one when we start repairing the dash and reinstalling panels on the inside. That'll be the next one. All right, guys. Stay awesome.
Take care.